But the moment that you own who you are and you love who you are and you accept who you are, the people that are so excited to see you win show up tenfold. Woo!
That's it.
What a way to drop it. Welcome to the Impact Effect Podcast. We are here at Music City Work Club in the Honey Pod studio, and I am fired up. We have a amazing soul in the studio, Sydney Dozier. She is a founder, CEO of Renaissance Marketing, and we are going to get into it. We met a few years ago. She does some amazing stuff, and I'm just so excited and grateful that she is here on the podcast today. So please let me welcome Sydney Dozier to the show.
What's up? I'm so excited to be here. You're such a light. And like everyone that I know that knows you, loves you. I love you. You've been on my show. You're a brother. Remember we said that like you're like me and I'm like you and we're just like the same, just the boy and girl version of each other. But no, I adore you and I love everything you're doing. And I'm so excited to be here with you.
Let's go.
Let's
go. True impact effect fashion. First question, what is a impactful moment in your life that has really just changed everything?
So good. That's such a great way to kick off a podcast versus most people. It's like, so tell me your story, you know, and then it starts off more surface level. But yeah, for me, gosh, so I've been building my business for what is 2014 to now? What are the
12 years?
12 years.
We're at 12 now?
12. I started it when I was 12, basically. Just kidding. That's a little joke. I was 22, but it was 2024. I was 10 years into the business when I had like the hardest year, like at 10 years in, which is crazy. Like you would think after all that experience and like a whole decade under your belt that like things wouldn't feel so hard. But I think it's really true that it's like what gets you here doesn't get you there, you know? And I had that year, it felt like everything was hard. Like waking up was hard, like I felt burnout didn't even cover how I was feeling. And at the end of 2024 was my moment. I got some bad news. I had like a big senior leadership team member leaving the business, and my business, just so that the group knows, it's my baby. It's my firstborn. Like it's very much it's everything to me. You know, I have 2 children and a beautiful husband, a beautiful personal life, but my business really it feels like a child, you know? And so at that point, I kind of got some bad news. This person was leaving and it was, you know, she felt like a sister, you know, she felt like it felt like a death in my life and in my business. And it felt like we had been sort of like climbing this mountain together. And then it was just all of a sudden I was at the top of the mountain by myself. And months before that, my brother, who you know, Walker, he left the business too to go start his own thing, and he's crushing it. I'm so happy for him. But 2 things can be true. You can be really happy for someone. You can also be really sad for yourself, right? Like even though you're like, go chase your dreams, do the thing, but also like, shit, like now what am I, you know? And I think my big moment was realizing that like it was just me at that point. You know, no senior leadership team, no, you know, COO at that point. I was at the top of this mountain and I had an opportunity. I think when you're faced with a challenge, there's a fork and you can go one way and you can be like, yep, this is just going to be hard and I'm just going to be upset and I'm just going to be like reveling in that pain. Or you can go the other way and you can be like, I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to run with it. And I'm not going to let my narrative be that I'm just a failure. Like I'm going to do the thing. And so it was like in that moment, I ended up kind of turning my entire business around. And through that process, I realized that I'm the thing. Like I'm the asset. I'm, you know, I think imposter syndrome is so real. I think in my whole career, I've done a lot of things. I'm really proud of a lot of success I've had, but I've struggled with that insecurity of like, I don't deserve it, or I'm not good enough, or there's so many other people that are so expert at social media and brand building and all of that. Why me, you know, and no one's gonna, whatever. And so instead, I just really went all in on those feelings I was having, and I let them all come up, and I started figuring out, what do I need to do? What needs to be put in place for me to not feel that way and really own the success that I've had? And so started a coaching program. I joined a coaching program. I went all in on education. I just decided to like actually live in being humbled. Like, I think as a business owner, it's the most humbling experience, entrepreneurship, gosh. And I was like, you know what? We're going to let this open us up. Like, I'm just going to be so humbled. I'm going to let my wounds be open, and I'm just going to like use this as an opportunity to grow and to move and to do big things. And so from there, we turned the business around, but now I'm owning where I am.
One, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Two, you're a badass.
Thank you.
Three, I think we've all felt imposter syndrome. We've all felt that lack of worth, even though we're doing things that on the outside, people are like, you're crushing it. Like, you're amazing. Like, I remember the first person that had talked to me and told me about you. And that woman said that you were her idol.
That's so sweet.
And that's the truth. And I don't even think I've shared that with you.
No, you haven't. That's really like, I accept that, but it's also like, what? you know, because of that inner narrative, because of that inner dialogue, and the perception doesn't mean you feel it. Totally. And so it's like, for me, the journey has been accepting, owning, moving forward. And I think for me, that's been the hardest thing. And I don't know why.
Well, you're a high achiever. You are always educating, like you said, trying to get to the next level.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've noticed with me, and I'll share this very briefly, is like, you get to the level and then it's like, well, I'm not, there's more education, there's more strategy, there's more talent, there's more skill, there's more relationships that I can build. There's things that I want to do. I dream big. I want these things. And sometimes we forget, like, well, I am a badass. Like, I did take that risk. That did work out. I did have that failure.
Yeah.
And I still survived.
Yeah.
Have you been through some of that? Some of those inner thoughts?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I was just talking, what you just said, I was just talking to my mom the other day, because, I have 2 kids. You have 2 kids. We're in the same, there's all this entrepreneurship stuff, and then there's like the parent stuff. And I was saying to my mom, I'm like, I just want to be home with my kids. I have so much mom guilt. Like, I just, and she's like, Sydney, you also really want to live a big life, and you have really big dreams, and you need to accept that. And you need to know that that's okay. And I think that that's that reframing of just accepting that you can be a great, and I know I'm taking the conversation a different way, but like, you can be a great parent, a great mom, a great dad, all of that, but you can also want big things, and being big requires you to be big, requires you to release yourself of those small thoughts, that inner dialogue that is like, you can't do it, you can't, the inner Regina George, it's like, that's the past 2 years for me has been this awakening of, I deserve to be here. But what's so cool about that is, and why we're so aligned, is like, we deserve to be there, but we're there so we can let others know that they can be there too. And it doesn't have to be this like, I'm so cool and I'm this and I'm that. Like, that's not, and I think that's why I've been so like this for so long, because I don't want that to be the thought. I want people to be like excited and empowered, and to know that they can do it too. That's what really lights me up.
Well, that's your heart.
Yeah.
And you don't want your brand to be perceived incorrectly, because you want people to be impacted from it. You want people to rise up with you, not I'm up here and you're down there.
Yeah.
Right. And I, as you're saying that, I was thinking through, I'm like, okay, you want to give the hand up.
Yeah.
Right. You want to pull people with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that energy, and I know that's true.
It's together. Like, I hate the word employee. I hate the word work for me. I really do. It makes me cringe. It makes me want to like go inside a turtle shell. Like, I'm like, you work with me. we are climbing this thing together. It's not me, it's we, and you can't do anything alone. And I think that that's been a huge part of my journey too, is like understanding like I am the thing that's like moving us all forward. Cause I think leadership, that's so important, but like it's a collective, and it is my job to empower, and that's why I think we get handed a lot of hard shit sometimes, because it is our job to work that resiliency and to have these hard things happen to us, because it gets us to the next level, even though we don't realize it does, but it's while you're going through that hard, you're equipping the whole time. It's like, go through hard things, equip, get better. And then you reach that next level and then you realize, oh, that's actually not that hard. And I think that's where I'm currently at, is there's still so many hard things I'm going through right now, but they don't feel that painful. They don't feel as debilitating as they did in 2024, where I let everything wreck me. I let everything derail me. And I don't, now I'm like, we got this, And I think that that's what's required to be on this journey, is like, you have to decide, like, is this your dream? Do you want this? It's right there. But the people that, are at the top of that mountain, like they're going to have every single struggle under the sun. But it's what are you going to do at that fork? What are you going to do? You're going to go left? You're going to go right? You're going to go to the hard? Are you going to give up? Are you going to go down? Or are you going to say, this is what's required? This is actually part of the process for me to have this really hard thing.
Why do you choose hard?
Yeah. I think I was just talking to a client about this yesterday. We both are believers, and we're like, I think some of us are just tapped. I think it's like a shoulder thing. Like, I think it's like and I think you have to be open to that, that call, that like inner voice, that spiritual, whatever it is. But I had a moment where I've never shared this publicly. In 2014, the year that I started my business, actually August 8th has been like a strange kind of woo-woo year in my life. It was like the year that I ended a very toxic work environment relationship that I had, and walked away and left and took a 4-month sabbatical and moved back with my parents. In that sabbatical, I had the idea to start my business, but it was August 8th, 2014. I'll never forget it. I had a tap on my shoulder that said to me, I was brushing my hair in the morning, getting ready to go to that toxic job. And that voice said to me, there's something bigger. There's something else. And you're gonna right?
Goosebumps moment. Whoa.
There's something else. And I was in a 9-to-5. I was in a high up. I was climbing the ladder. And it was just this voice that I've never had in my entire life that was like, there's something bigger, and this is not your journey. And it was like so crazy. And then all these crazy things happened that day that translated into me being like, I'm freaking done. And 4 months later, had the idea to start Renaissance, which changed my entire life. And then exactly a year later, 2015, August 8th, same day, I went on my first date with my husband, who is my person, And so we've been together since that day, August 8th, 2015. We've never been apart. And, 2 beautiful children, this business that is everything I could have ever imagined. If you would have told me, that little girl brushing her hair when she was 22 or 21, however old I was, like having that little God moment, like if the voice had been like, you're Prince Charming, your babies of your dream life, your dream business, your dream brand. It's going to be really hard to get there though. You're going to have a lot of things, but like, keep going, sister, and it's like, yeah, it's cool to know that like you can go through the freaking fire, but you also have no idea what's on the other side. But I'm like a walking testimony that like on the other side of that hard truly is your dream life. But that's the pay. Like that's the tax. of getting to that dream life, the tax is the hardship, you know?
It's, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That was,
I just feel like, you know, you got to tap in to
totally. Well,
that
some of the
inner
best
knowing.
conversations on the podcast, some of the best speaking engagements I've done is I'm tapped in.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just flows. You don't even know what you're saying.
So true. I feel like I'm like blacking out too. I'm like, I don't even know what I just shared, but I felt like I had to tell you that story because it's so real. And hopefully it's like a mirror to other people, like being open to an inner voice and inner knowing. It may not even be a voice. It may just be like a little, you're not where you're supposed to be, but it's part of your story. It's okay if it's not exactly where you're supposed to be forever. It is part of your journey. I believe that we are all where we are for a reason. We may never know what the reason is, but we're there for a reason because it's getting us to where we're ultimately supposed to be. But it's part of the creation, the building, you know, brick by brick of where we need to go.
Well, it's also, I think you by you just sharing that in your journey, you're helping the entire audience listening. I think anybody who's a business owner, entrepreneur, or thinking about it, or has this idea and they're ready to, you know, take a step into that is gonna go through something similar to this. Like, it's not all rainbows.
Yeah.
It's tough, and that's why I want to help people with my words and to remind them of, you know, you're never going to be the best version of yourself by yourself. Like, we need people. We need our spirituality. We need those things. Like you talked about it. You're like, you know, I joined a coaching program and, you know, you've got a great network of people that love on you and support you. And I think that's such an intricate, important piece. And you have compassion towards this. You've gone through it. Like, it's not that you've just hit it right, the home run right out the gate, and everything's been this fairy tale life and perfection. And like, I don't even think perfect should be in the dictionary. It's fake news.
It's BS. Yeah. I feel like you hit the nail on the head with like the community piece and you're someone that is so rooted in that. And I admire that in you so much. And I think it's strategy. Like, you have to equip yourself, just like we work out, we take care of ourselves, you know, we drink the water, we do whatever, but it's like, you have to equip your mind. And the way you do that is like being seen and being heard. We weren't meant to do this journey alone. And you have to find your people, you know? And I think you have to find your people that welcome your vulnerability, you know? And you have to also remove yourself from ego. And I think that's why business is a great thing, because humbling you. And then through that humbling, you know, you are connected to people that are like, look, I'm here for you. We love your dreams. We love that you have, like, all of my good closest friends are like, they don't even really care what I do. You know, and that's so great because it's like, I'm able to just be me and share the business stuff that's really, really hard that maybe they don't fully relate to, but it's an understanding. I see you, I hear you. And like, I maybe can't like give you HR advice, but I can sit in this trench with you, you know, and that has been such an unlock lately, you know, just because it's like they say, it can be so very isolating. But you have to, I think that's a you thing. You get it. You know, it doesn't have to be isolating. Are you just isolating because you're afraid that someone is going to see through it, you know, and that they're going to see that it's not perfect. And I was there for years. I was like, nope, everything's great. I'm amazing. You know, I've been there. And so that, I needed to fall on my face. Like, I needed that to happen. And it's like, I needed to be cracked open so that truly like light could come in. And that light was my people, like was my community, other entrepreneurs that are like climbing it with me, you know, it's like, it's a game changer for sure. Community.
It's, I feel like there's a mirror right here of all the shit that I've gone through and how my perspective has changed around it, because it's I'm like, yes, yep, Yeah, totally. Yeah. That took forever to learn. Yeah,
Yep.
but that happened.
Me
Like,
too. I'm a slow learner. I really am. It sucks.
but it's the compassion you have to now create the impact because you had to go through it and you had to feel it. So you could equate that to compassion and be curious and love on people and show up for them and learn the lessons that were rooted in who you truly were and who you're being called to be. But on that journey that we just never know where we're going, right? We can't control it and we have to navigate, but we have to navigate it.
And no one relates to perfect. Like you said, it needs to be removed from the dictionary. And I think about this right now with like my clients and the work we do in the agency is like relatability and resonance are the two most powerful ways to move anyone, whether you're on stage, you're on a podcast, you're on social media. And so that's the strategy for growth is like relatability and resonance. And that works for memes, right? Like, oh, this is hilarious. I'm going to share it with all the people, right? Like that shareable type of content. But we want our clients to be relatable. And what's relatable is the struggles, is the vulnerability, is the challenge. Like that's what makes people be like, I just really connect with her or him on that deeper level because they shared when they were bankrupt, when they were broke. And that's just a big example. When they were, struggling with this, business partnership or whatever it was, starting over in life, like whatever it is, that sharing that vulnerability, that's power because that's what creates connection. That's what moves the needle. That's what makes people want to rally around what you're doing and sharing your wins because they can see themselves in your pain, in your hardships, in your struggles, like the things that have got you to where you are. And I think that that's another hack is like, if you're like, man, I just feel like I've had this thing and then this thing and then this thing. Well, if you share all of that, if you bring people with you in all of that, that's actually content that's going to connect you with your ideal audience, right? Like, it's like if we go through, it's like a silver lining, go through something really hard, put it in the content bank. Like, that's storytelling that is going to bring you to your ideal community.
I could not agree more.
You do that really well. You do.
I could not agree more. And it's uncomfortable sometimes. And I've made the mistakes of being vulnerable with the wrong people or vulnerable in the wrong moment or the wrong time, right? Like one of the things that I've done in the past, and I don't know if you've experienced this, but like you're not really over a vulnerable moment and you try to share it. And it comes off not that you're doing it for the right reason sometimes. There's still anger, there's still some trauma. And some of it doesn't come off like that, but like we're talking social media, like I've poured it out and then I'm like, oh, wow, that wasn't actually helpful. That was me kind of bitching or like.
But at the same time, this is where there's nuance because I do think, and I would say to my clients and I would say to you, like, if it's really coming up to you, like if it's really like, obviously everything you share does need to have a why, it needs to be rooted in some sort of value to the audience. But like some of the best content happens when you are in the moment. And that is something we deal with in the agency. Like we create content a month in advance for our clients, but we always are like, we got to save time and room and space for entrepreneurs that we represent that are going through something where they're like, I just need to get on my phone. And we're like, go. And we'll look at it maybe before you post it and just make sure. But like there's something to be said about in the moment content like that. And I've seen that kind of content go the most viral because it is so authentic to how you're feeling in that time and in that moment. And it's just an energy that your audience can feel. That's like better than anything evergreen that you created months back that like maybe would work in a month or a week or a year. But like if there's that stuff, and if you feel very compelled to share something, there's a reason for that too. And even if you think it like flopped, this is where I really get annoyed when people are like, my post only got 900 views. And it's like, have you ever talked on a stage to 900 people, like that meme that's like the showing the stage, you know, like that's huge. What if you impacted 10 of those people? What if 10 of those people went to your website? Like that's big. So it's like, yes, that's frustrating if you're trying to go for viral or whatever, but also I've had people stop me and be like, oh man, you guys did this post and like, I loved it. And I'm like, wow, I thought that flopped, you know? So just, you gotta think about it like that. And it's the long game, you know, social media, it's completely the long game. Just like with business, like, are you really just gonna like, is that it? If you just had one post that like every single major creator has had a post flop. I actually love, this is something I do. Some of my favorite people I admire in like the entrepreneurship space that have 200, 300,000 followers, whatever. Sometimes their posts get 100 likes. And that's just the old owl. That's owl for you, algorithm. Like it's just, that's the nature of it. But you can rest easy knowing it's not just you, even if you have a smaller footprint, you know, that's just what we're up against, but you cannot give up. And actually it's consistency. It's showing up. That's the thing that wins. Even if it doesn't garner thousands of likes, you're never going to get there if you post once a week, once a month, whatever. You're never going to get there if you have to keep showing up, and you get so much better the more reps that you put in. I mean, you do that so well. You show up every single day. You're in my feed, you know, and you would probably say like, if you weren't doing that, you wouldn't be putting it, like building the muscle for creativity and for not being afraid and just doing it. Like I said to someone this morning, they were like, what if I'm just like a perfectionist? And I was like, posted is better than perfect.
Posted is better than perfect. Come on.
Drop it.
Say it louder for the homies in the back.
Homies in the back. Don't forget about them. It's just true though, right?
It's 100% true. And I think, you know, as you were saying all this, I'm like, okay, Sydney, you know, the imposter syndrome in business and entrepreneurship, like you've moved through that. Last year was a tough year. You're in this new place. And then, you know, is it imposter syndrome in social media where people just haven't moved through that, right? There's the comparison, like we compare to someone bigger and better in business. When now people on social, they're comparing to someone with more followers or more years or more likes or more consistency. And I was just trying to make that kind of that through note in my brain. And I'm like, maybe that is the case, because when I started to not compare in business is when I really just let it rip online. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Like it is what it is, you know, like it, love it. That's my two options for you. If you hate it, I don't give a shit. Like you either, I'm in my mind, I'm like, you like it or you love it.
I need that everyone needs to replay that clip every day. You either like it or you love it. There's no in between. And what I would say to someone that's like, I'm always comparing, your job, I think, as a business owner in 2026 is to create, not consume. One, we don't have time. Who has time? And listen, we all doom scroll. We all live for like a 9 p.m., whatever. But you can tailor your feed to whatever supports your mental capacity. Like mine is memes. It's funny mom stuff. It's working mom humor. It's the stuff that at the end of the day takes me away from work, because if I'm in my work mode and I'm in my comparison trap, I'm not sleeping. Like I'm up and then I have insomnia. It's just very true. So I train my algorithm to just show me funny stuff. Just show me lighthearted inspiration. It's none of my business what my competitors are doing. It's none of my business. Like if you are rooted and if you are clear and if you know who you are and how you want to show up. And there's a lot of deep work you have to do to get to that point. But if you know that, then your job, your responsibility is to create, not consume. And for your haters, because there's that too, right? You either like it or you love it. It's like, but what about the people that hate me? What about the people that want to see me fall on like the people that are watching your stories and they're never commenting on your stuff. And they're, that's kind of going viral right now. It's like, that's also not your business. Like Sally from high school, Johnny from college, like the people that maybe want to see you fail. That's also the tax. That's also, it's the road less traveled for a reason. Okay. Like there's not everyone is going to do this hard content creation, content creator, entrepreneurial stage speaker. Most people don't do that.
Well, they're called a troll for the reason because they're under the bridge and you're walking over it on top. Like they're not creating content. Most of those people, you go to their page and it's, 1996 was the last time they put something out.
Once you understand that, what are they doing? What are they doing? And why is that owning you so much?
Yeah.
That's what you have to get down into. That's that deep work you have to really look into and be like, why am I letting go? I had an employee that one time called me cringe in like a negative way, not like you're a millennial, you're cringe. Like it was like a hardcore backhanded, she's cringe. Like it was like that. And I let that person left and, but I, for some reason, let that comment just have ownership of me. And it held me back from sharing and being me. And I went through some stuff and looked in the mirror and I was like, I am cringe. And I'm fine with that. I'm so fine with that. I'm loud. I'm me. I'm pink. I'm, whatever I am. But the moment that you own who you are and you love who you are and you accept who you are, the people that are so excited to see you win show up tenfold versus the people that are like, God, she's so cringe because she shows up or whatever it is. And there's something that they're going through that is why they're feeling that way and saying that and have the balls to say that to you, And I do think that's just part of this, but like, man, I feel like I'm such a walking testimony of like, the more I show up, the more I attract girls that are like, hell yeah, what you're doing. I see you and I love it. And I can't get enough of it and keep going, and that just lets you like feel really good about the world. Even when you don't feel good about the world, you're like, I want to live there. Like there are more amazing people than there are the trolls. Like live there, be there. It's just true. It really is.
Two things. I think it comes down to loving yourself and doing that inner work. It's funny that we're so alike. Or funny you're saying that because I posted on social today. I said, love yourself. You deserve it. That was a post. And the other thing is like, I was thinking back, when I had road rage, like it wasn't the person that was cutting me off that pissed me off. It was me not loving myself and me being pissed off already.
That's really good. That resonates.
And
why are you angry?
I'm not perfect, right? Like someone, does something and I'm, get off of a bad phone call or I'm stressed out. Like, yeah, I may like, but it's not like, I remember coming off of Briley Parkway a few years ago on White Bridge Pike. There's a left that goes into the Nations or you can go straight. And, I went to go around because it's that left turn and someone kind of cut in front of me and I almost hit him. And that guy was in an HVAC van and he put down the window and I put down the window and we had it and he got out and I almost got out and then I was like, no. And I was like, whoa, am I going to fight the random HVAC bro? Like on the side of Briley? Is that who I am?
Right.
And it had nothing.
That was your fork.
It had nothing to do with the fact that we almost got in an accident. One, we didn't get in an accident.
God.
Two, God, I had to give him grace. I can only imagine what he's gone through. That he wanted to jump out and beat my ass. We never even hit each other. He was just mad that I was going around and he made a last minute decision. And it was like, in that moment, I was like, I can't chill up like this again. I fed into that. I rolled my window down too. I'm to blame. But like that could have been diverted. That could have not even escalated at that level. And I poured the gasoline on the fire. like he wouldn't have got out if I didn't,
Angst him on a little bit.
yeah, told him to fly high. And he was no eagle, So like that was definitely me in that moment. But like I think about that with life. It's like that person who's gonna get out and try to beat your ass. Like, gosh, man, I can only imagine. Did their mom die before this? Like, did their wife leave them? Did they walk in and they were getting cheated on? Like, like does their best friend have breast cancer? Like, these are real things that people have navigated in life that are friends of mine that.
Yeah.
Wow, I know how my friends felt. God only knows how they're feeling right now and why they've escalated at that level. And then I had a scenario where I was going around a corner in my neighborhood and I was like, oh, I really need this Amazon package. Like I had an event and I needed the screen, the white screen for a projector. And I was like, yo, we're not going to do PowerPoints in an hour and 40 minutes. Right. And like, so I was driving around and I'm like, yo, where's the Amazon dude? And I rolled up to him and this is when I realized that I became better instead of being so bitter, was when it was like, I rolled up on him and he got out of that Amazon truck like, what does this guy want? And I was just like, hey, bro, do you, thank you, man, thank you for doing what you do. I really appreciate it. And I'm stressed out, bro. And like, I need this thing and you may not even be the right dude. And I know Amazon isn't like, you got the neighborhood, like they try to do it like that. But I've seen, one dropping off on the neighbors while you're dropping off on mine. And like, I de-escalated and he was just having a bad day.
Yeah. Just had a moment.
God only knows what was going on in his life. So I just think about those moments and I'm not perfect and it still boils up and I still have emotion and I still have fear and I still have a level of anger in some ways when I feel like I've been done dirty or wrong or when I'm sad or when something happens. And so like, I just have to recognize that and I have to lean in and go, Jim, feel through it.
Feel through it. That's so beautiful. Feel it and just recognize that recognition instead of just moving past it, because then you'll never sit in it and be like, why? Get to that root. Why am I feeling this way? Do that deep work. Yeah. That's so good. Anytime I'm like having those like emotions, anger, I don't really get angry, but I get frustrated, and it's like, it will be very rare that it will come out unless you're my husband. But I do like have to go be alone, go on a walk and just, yes, defuse, but like also sit with why am I feeling this way and how, especially now having little kids, you can't be angry ever. My husband and I, when we're mad at each other and our kids are around, we're like, I'm so sorry. Like you have to like do it in this like high pitched voice and you can't let them see that. I'm like, I never want my kids to see that like blowing up thing. And I know I never say never, life is life and whatever, but really sitting with it and figuring it out, because the people that love you the most, like they don't deserve that. And even strangers don't deserve that, to your point. So that's really beautiful, that recognition.
Totally. I couldn't agree more. And same with our kids. It's hard and we're not perfect, but if we can put energy towards it and focus on it, then, and I'm, you're very similar. Like you're caught, not taught. Right. So like, if they see me treating mommy poorly or raising my voice, then, how are they going to grow up and what are they going to perceive that's okay and what's not okay? And it's behavior at the end of the day. And I can always control my behavior to an extent because I am normal and I am human and I am not perfect by any means. But how do I just continue to get better and continue to recognize it? All right, last question. What an amazing episode. Like,
I love this. This has been so just like therapeutic to me, truly. This has been so great. You're amazing.
You're amazing. Look, we're jinxing right now.
Jinx.
All right, last question. You said you're finding more of your people, you're attracting more of your people. How are you doing that?
So good. Yeah, I think it starts in being really, really clear on who you are and how you want to show up in like your brand, your personal brand. Like really, I think I'm I'm a big content pillar person. And I think that that helps me with like organizing the things that mean the most to me, because if I'm so close to the things that mean the most to me, I can be in my most creative zone, right? Like it can fuel me. It can feel really good because it aligns so much with those like core topics. If we're kind of talking about social media and like that community, is that what we're talking about? Or are we talking about like
just your people? Like, how do you find your close homies?
Yeah,
like what do you think you do? Like, obviously showing up on social and outbound market, like anything around your brand, you're gonna attract those right people. But why do you think that's the case?
Yeah, I think figuring out the rooms I need to be in that are full of aligned individuals. So I was struggling to find those rooms in 2022, 2021. So I created those rooms. So I created the Renaissance Women's Summit. Yeah, you gotta come.
Come on, I gotta do a fist bump for that one. Yes, yes.
This is you. This is your same narrative. It's like I couldn't find that group of women entrepreneurs at that time that really aligned with like how I could just eat business education for breakfast. And I love talking about business and I love talking about like processes and operations. And I'm really a big nerd, but then also like social media and strategy and marketing and all of these things. And so I created this conference where it's like very me. It's very like pink and glitter and sparkles and Instagram. And it's very that, but then it's very deep, where it's conversations around really what does it take to build a business, and a business that's sustainable, and a business that's profitable, and a business that has a really foundational team. So the founder doesn't feel like you're being pulled in a million directions and like the business so depends on you. So you can live what I call your Renaissance life. You know, you can have kids, you can live your why, you can go on trips and vacations, whatever your like reason for existing is, you can do those things. And your business doesn't pull you and drag you. Like I've been there so many times. And so that's been kind of my like ethos. And so I created a conference that's twice a year. This year we're just doing one because I had a baby and I'm giving myself grace, but that's the whole premise of the event. And so for me, it looks a little bit like I'm doing that big thing, but I think that if you find those rooms, you have to taste and sample and try. You're not going to probably hit it the first time, but you'll know. And I think you have to be vulnerable. You have to not pretend like you're perfect. I think if you're really trying to meet your people and meet your tribe, you can't start conversations surface level. You can't just focus on the weather. You can't just focus on things that don't connect. You know, it's like on a first date, how it can be so awkward because you're just like, yeah, and then here's my story and la-di-da. And you don't really feel connected to that person until you're like, here's my bag of shit. And here's all the things. Like, I'm not saying you have to lead with the negatives, but I think you just have to think about what lights you up in a conversation, what lights you up, what makes you feel drawn to a person. Like, then you got to work on being that, you know? And the more that I've done that, the more I've met the women that are like, we're here for this. Like, we're here for you. And we're not competing with you. We're actually, all of us are like pushing this boulder up the hill together. And we might fall and we might get scrapes. The boulder might roll us over sometimes, but like, we're all here so we can help each other get back up, you know? And yeah, I mean, that's it. That's it.
What a way to drop it as we wrap it up. Let's go.
Let's go.
Sydney, thank you so much for being a good friend, a major supporter. And there's just so much alignment. I'm so grateful to have you on the show today.
Likewise. You're the best.